Mike.
What's going on, piddlers? Good to see you guys and gals. Cooper the Great first. He was on in about 20 seconds after I posted it. Cooper, I don't know how you're doing it, but I appreciate you, brother. Mike Tabor, a close second. Gary Kennedy third. Hog Therapy Barbecue, great to have you. Appreciate you being here, Mark G. What?
They can hear you scratching your face.
Well, I can't help it. Stephen Manis, hope you're doing well, brother. My man Harley, thank you for being here. Joseph, good to see you tonight. Mark Rambo, good to have you. TG McFly, hello to you. And by the way, we just realized that last week we didn't have, like, the microphone was way over here. We didn't even put it over here.
No, he just realized. I knew it wasn't in front of us.
Okay, but she just didn't say anything. So could y'all hear us last week? Like, is there any sound difference between it being over there and it being right here? Or right there? Is there any difference?
Nobody wants you all up in the mic.
Well, it might sound better.
No.
Might sound more Barry Whitish if I'm all up in there.
Nobody wants you to be Barry White.
3 rounds IV, antibiotics, middle finger. I hope that gets better, man. Sounds hollow.
Sounds better where it's at.
Sounds better where it's at. Bam. Sorry about that last week. We didn't even realize it. Or I didn't.
Much better not over there.
Dennis, good evening to you. Appreciate you being here. Good to have everybody. Y'all make sure that you hit that thumbs up button down there in the bottom somewhere. We appreciate that. And we'll go ahead and get started. First of all, Merry Christmas to everybody. It's the season. Getting close. It's got to be getting close. I mean, it's first week of December. December 8th.
Actually, it's the second week of December.
December 8th. It's, well, going into the second week. Cheers to you. Just Merry Christmas. Venison chili. That sounds good. That sounds really good. Brandy made some vegetable soup tonight. It was really good. Took me a minute. Canadian Jim, great to have you. Hope everything's good up there in the northern country up there. I appreciate that, Stephen. DW's Southern Cooking and Barbecue. Great to have you. Appreciate you being here. Good to see you. Yeah, it is a good night for soup. Today, I actually thought about doing the live stream from the trailer this afternoon, but it rained half the day today, and it really, after that rain, it cooled off.
Yeah, the wind's blowing
pretty good, so I decided against that. Stephen says, Brandy, no cake.
No cake.
Did a bacon wrap pork loin tonight. Mark G, I have been debating on, me and Brandy was talking about, when we talked about it last week, about what video cook to do for Christmas. And I thought today, because meat is so expensive, you can still get pork loins at a pretty decent price. And I actually thought about doing a whole pork loin bacon weave wrapped. So it's probably going to have to be 2 bacon weaves side by side if I do the whole thing and wrap it, and doing a whole bacon wrapped pork loin like that for Christmas for a cook. What do you think about that, babe?
Perfect.
Because really, I mean, I've thought about a big prime rib roast, or, prime rib, ribeye, all that, and that's just so expensive. If I'm going to do all that, I'll just do a whole brisket or something.
Silver.
But
Mr. Mark, I bet that's going to be great. He stuffed it with apple pie filling.
oh, very nice. Yeah. Mike Tabor, that's big. I mean, I mean, that's saying something right there. I appreciate that. That's kind of humbling right there. I appreciate that, brother.
Hey, Mike.
Hamburger 4-packs on the grill as we speak with carrots, onions, and potatoes. That sounds good, brother. Sounds good.
I'm sorry, Stephen.
Pumpkin pie sounds good.
I don't even know when the last time I made a cake.
Brent Meister. You could wrap a dog turd and a piece of. You're right. I don't even know what the rest of the sentence says, and I already know that you're right. I did a apple pie stuffed pork loin. Man, that's been like 2 years ago or so in a video.
Yeah, but didn't you put something else?
Cream cheese. I should have left the cream cheese
Yeah,
out.
don't put cream cheese in it.
No, that was a mistake. It was still good,
Yeah, but it took away from the.
but it wasn't a 10.
No,
It
it
was.
was more of a 5.
Oh. I was going to say 8.
Well, I know
You went all the way to 5.
Yeah. Just trying to be honest.
I hope you're not a judge anywhere I go.
Well, now you know how those.
Cut and Sticky Bar, good to have you.
Now you know how those
Mississippi pot
girls
roast.
felt when I judge.
That's one of my favorites, Mississippi pot roast. You can't beat that. I'm going to do a beef Wellington on the grill soon. That sounds good. Habanero apricot preserve stuffed loin. Now that sounds good too. The habanero pepper jelly that we've got, might go good with that as well. We might do the habanero pepper jelly as a glaze over the bacon wrap after it cooks a little while. That might be good.
Perfect.
That's a great. Appreciate the idea there, Brent.
Gary got him
for $70. Really? I mean, Gary, that's about, I mean, is it choice, select, choice, prime? What kind of grade you got there? I've been paying around $4 a pound or so for
didn't Austin get on
for choice briskets locally here. Yeah, he did.
Hey, Austin.
Austin, great to have you, brother. Hope y'all are doing well.
A whiskey peach glaze.
That sounds good too.
It was a choice.
That sounds good too.
Whiskey peach.
We could do the crown peach for that glaze. Yeah, Gary, that's close to about what we're paying here for choice briskets, really. If it's, 14 poundish, somewhere around there, 14, 16. Chicken prices are way up also here in Texas. Only thing reasonable is pork. What did we cook the other night? And I was debating on, yeah, we were debating on what to cook for supper the other night. And Brandy said either, like spatchcock chickens or a ham. And I went to the grocery store and looked at the chickens, and really we ended up doing a spiral cut ham. Just because, you look at the price of the chickens, and by the time you spatchcock them and all that stuff, I mean, that's a decent amount of work. And the ham, all I had to do is cut it out of the pack and put it on. Cook it for a couple hours, put the glaze on it, take it off, and slice it up. So we actually did the ham, and we spent $17 on a ham and didn't really have to do anything. and got a lot of meat out of it. So, matter of fact, we still got some in the fridge. And you can't beat a ham sandwich. And I'll tell you, this was not a Smithfield spiral cut ham. It was a different brand. But that thing was smoky, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Very. Probably
And it,
one of the
yeah.
smokiest you've ever cooked.
Yeah. And it was, and that kind of smoke that we were getting was because it was, it was a spiral cut smoked ham already. That was from the brand that we bought it from. And granted, it got a little bit of smoke left from, putting it back on the Traeger and getting it up to temp, but that was a smoky ham. And I want to say that was probably better than a Smithfield ham. It was good. I don't even remember the name of it, but it was really good.
I didn't see it. I saw it when I was putting it on my plate.
Move that
Austin, I hope you feel
better.
He's got strep throat.
Oh, that ain't good.
He says he got it from Seth.
That's one of the worst things you can have right there, man. Tires are hard to come by now. Waiting 2 weeks for some decent tires. Brent, I feel your pain. That's why that trailer took so long, was because there were times when they couldn't get sheet metal. There were times when they couldn't get axles. It's a crazy time right now.
Was the brand Cooks?
Yeah, it started with a C. I know that, but it was like 2 words. It might have been Cooks Creek or something, but it was really good. But it did start with a C. I remember that. Costco has some nice spiral cut hams. Made in Italy. Wow.
We're fixing to get our nearest Costco is about 45 minutes away. They'll be opening in the next couple months, hopefully. Hey, Eddie.
3-pack of choice ribeyes was $50 effing. Yeah. I believe that because the ribeyes here at our local grocery store, I mean, they're selects and they're like that. And a 2-pack is, $25, $30. And they're worthless. Eddie, appreciate you being here. We actually cooked butter beans and corn with that ham. And I actually forgot to get a ham hock. So, but we did have some bacon grease. So I put a little bit of bacon grease in there and a couple of bouillon cubes. And the butter beans were still good.
Mm-hmm.
They were still good.
We had shrimp and grits last night.
Had shrimp and grits last night. Brandy came up with that idea and came home and really the recipe, I did a video on it a while back. Y'all check that video out. It's a great recipe for shrimp and grits. Even if it is different from your recipe, I bet Eddie's got a good recipe for shrimp and grits, but it's a really good recipe. To me, the key is cooking the grits with chicken stock instead of just water. That adds a lot of flavor to it. But also the recipe that I did with the video, I used real stone ground grits. But Brandy went to the store yesterday and she couldn't find the stone ground grits. So she just got regular, like 5-minute grits. But it was still good. I mean, It was still good. I will say, I do like the texture of the stone ground grits a little better. They don't get so, you can like feel the texture of the stone ground grits a little better. But it was also nice not having to cook grits for 45 minutes and only cook them in 5 minutes too. So
I helped you out a little bit.
You did. But it turned out good.
Who asked about the Mr. Mark? I mean, I've always just done I don't know if you call them instant grits, but
yeah.
I mean, I don't cook them in the microwave or nothing, but I found out a long time ago. I mean, I stir them the whole entire time As soon as I put them in the boiling water, I'm stirring them until they get done.
Yeah, but it does literally 5 minutes and they're done. But too, like back in the day when we had a lot of kids, you didn't want to sit over a pot for 45 minutes cooking just grits.
No.
You know what I mean? But I do think stone ground grits are better, no doubt. But
it's grits. There's no E in it, but it's
grits.
Yeah, I put butter
grits,
and cheese in
grits.
them once they get done.
Yeah, I probably put
a big old hunk of butter and
yeah. I put a half a stick, a cup and a half of grits, a half a stick of butter, and probably 2 cups of shredded cheese in the grits. And it was really a whole container, basically. A whole carton of the chicken broth. That's what I cooked the grits in. And turned out really good. The shrimp, you make like I say, I've got the video. Y'all check the video out.
I'll have to put the recipe on the
website.
On the website.
Yeah, that would be great. We might try to do that the next day or two. But I make a compound butter also. It's garlic, parsley, oregano, and then just roll that up. But you put about a tablespoon or 2 in the pan to cook we use andouille sausage in it, and then a little bit of bacon grease. That's the only thing we didn't do is bacon, the bacon part. But we had bacon grease and onions, shrimp, and just cook all of that together, and then add a little bit of flour and some heavy whipping cream so you make a little sauce with it. Turns out really good.
I love some cheese grits.
Don't think I've ever had grits.
If you're from up north, you probably haven't.
Mark Rambo, where are you from, brother?
I think he's told us before.
Yeah, he probably has. I don't even remember where Mike Tabor's from. Edward's sister's hands. Where have you been, man? Where have you been?
He's probably saying, where have you been?
Well, okay. That's fair. That's fair. Compound butter is like bedazzling your cholesterol. I agree with that too. Okay.
Yeah, I told Mom a while ago.
Wow.
Hello. That we had shrimp and grits, and she said, "Do you have a recipe?" She said, "Is it easy?" And I said, "I don't know. He makes it." I mean,
tell my favorite mother-in-law that I've got a YouTube channel.
So I started
all the family members. Hey, you got a recipe for this? Yes, I've got a YouTube channel. I don't think any of my family members are subscribers or nothing.
So I started naming off all the stuff that you put in it. And she said, "Well, how about the next time y'all make it, we'll just come over and eat."
No.
I said, "I'll get you the recipe, Mama."
No, send her the link to the video.
God, she doesn't even know how to work it. So no, I just
Western boys stuck in the Midwest and love grits. That's what I'm talking about, Mike Tabor. Minnesota. Okay, that makes sense. Mark, go to the grocery store and get.
They might not even have them up there.
They've got grits. I
don't know. I'm telling you.
Just check.
When we lived in Michigan, Mama couldn't ever find grits.
In the breakfast aisle, cereal, oatmeal, and that kind of stuff. It'll be by the oatmeal.
Yeah.
Grits. Get the 5-minute, what is it? Quaker Oats grits? Yeah. Quaker Oats, get the 5-minute grits and just follow it. Add a cup and a half of cheese and a half a stick of butter in there.
No, don't measure it. Just throw a handful. Ever how much cheese?
Well, that's what I did, but I'm guesstimating.
I never
half a stick of butter, a little bit of salt and pepper.
Oh, yeah. You have to ask for
what?
Hominy, maybe, instead of grits.
Really?
Probably.
Because in our grocery store, we have grits and then we have hominy. They're like 2 different things. I don't know what the difference is, but that's crazy.
I'm telling you, they don't. Like, Mama could never find grits when we lived in Michigan. It made
Polenta.
Daddy it made Daddy mad.
Wow, that's crazy. Oh, man.
Oh, Harley.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Make you some cheese grits and scramble you some eggs and cook you some bacon. That's a good breakfast.
Like down here, I've never thought about this before. Like down here, I don't know what you guys have up there in Minnesota, but down here we have like Huddle House and Waffle House restaurants. Like, I mean, I bet they serve 50 gallons of grits a day, probably.
But like you go up north and you can't get sweet tea. It's like peach
Right.
tea or
Right.
something.
Or when I went out to San Diego, the first time I went out there and I went to a
Or fruit
Denny's.
tea.
Went to a Denny's, asked for sweet tea, and she brought me tea, and I took a sip of it, and I was like, "What in the world?" And it was raspberry tea.
Yeah.
But after a while, I got to liking raspberry tea, but they didn't have just like sweet Southern tea. Couldn't find them in Utah. That is crazy. Mike Tabor, I don't even know how to say that.
What?
Up here in Cincinnati, the big thing for breakfast is Gita.
Yeah, there's an O in there.
Well, I mean, there's no way all of that stuff can be pronounced at one time. Waffle House can serve up some grit. Yeah, they can.
And I do not like sweet tea.
Kurt Phillips.
We don't drink it much.
You're right. I like Waffle Houses better. I do.
Get a.
So what is it? What is Geta?
Or Gita.
Waffle House. The governor's called to see if.
Mayhem.
Yeah.
Nice to have you tonight.
Oh, the sweet tea. My family makes what they call fruit tea. And we've got the recipe. We haven't made it in a while, but they've made it since I was a little kid. And it's like a sweet tea, but it's also made with pineapple juice.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a sweet, fruity pineapple tea. It's really good.
Thanks, Mark.
Mark G, Google it. That's the kind of answer that I have started giving some of my commenters on some of my videos. We'll probably talk about that more here in a minute.
It's a mixture made
Makes
of
fruit wine.
meat, oats, onions, and spices that is warm.
Yeah, you need to start getting to know that fella. Edward Sistershand's neighbor makes fruit wine.
I regret ignoring.
Yeah, he needs to become your best, but you need to cut his grass or something.
So it's made out of a meat, oats, onions, and spices that is formed to sausage patties, fried and eaten for breakfast.
Meat, oats, onions, and
spices.
I'm not sure about that.
I want to see a picture.
But I guess if you guys can eat grits, then we can try some. So, babe, this weekend we're going to go into Waffle House and ask for some Geta. See what they say.
No, because I'll be.
You want some what?
No. People in there ain't got any sense.
Like Scrapple. Yeah, I've heard of Scrapple.
So that's what it looks like. They got
it looks like Scrapple.
They got it on some toast.
Not a Scrapple fan. That's interesting. So do you guys have like the Waffle Houses and Huddle Houses and all that? Love the Geta. It's like a sausage.
Yeah, and it's from Cincinnati.
Only in Cincinnati. Wow.
Yeah.
Guess we're missing out, babe.
We're gonna pass. I'll pass.
Burgoo. I have heard of burgoo. But isn't burgoo just like kind of like whatever you have in your pantry, you just throw it in a big pot? Edward Sistershands, that would be amazing. My dad loves scrapple nasty stuff. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that.
I've never even heard
No
of that.
Waffle Houses in Nebraska. And Cracker Barrels, man. Cracker Barrels are the
Oh.
bomb.
I love some Cracker
Stephen
Barrel.
Manis, bless you, brother. Thank you so much.
And Shoney's used to be really good, but they don't even have Shoney's anymore. There's one 40 minutes away, and that's the only one I know of.
Stephen, appreciate you. That's probably going to, we got one more table to fill out the rest of the trailer with, and that'll go to that table. Once we get that table, I did work on the trailer this weekend. I got a 4-foot table mounted in there. And I say mounted because all the restaurant tables come at about 34 inches. But if you guys, when you're doing barbecue and stuff, if you've ever stood at a table for a long time chopping meat or slicing meat or trimming meat, after a while your lower back starts hurting because you're having to bend over some. So I made some wooden feet to go under the table legs that are probably 5 inches. They rose it up 5 inches more. So they're probably close to 40 inches, 38 to 40 inches tall now. And Mayhem, thank you, man. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I took a little spade bit because the feet on those tables were about 1 inch. Took a spade bit and cut me about a 1/2 inch hole so those feet fit down in the top of the 4x4 little feet, and painted them black so they blend in with the floor. So now you can't really even tell that they're there, really. And so put the 4-foot table in there, and now I got to get a 6-foot table to butt up to that. And so after we get done, that whole wall will be a 10-foot stainless steel countertop space to, work area, trim area. We'll probably put the Cambros on the very end down there. And so it's going to be nice. We got a little stainless steel. Edward Sisters Hands, thank you, man. Appreciate you being here. Got a little stainless steel rack. It's got 4 shelves on it to put items, some little totes and stuff like that for things that we need on it. Mounted a clock in there, mounted a first aid kit in there, 2 spice shelves, another shelf, and the paper towel holder, the magnetic knife holder. And by the way, I got a Dexter. Was it Dexter or Mercer? One of them. I got a Dexter. I think it's Dexter. No, Mercer.
What is it?
The knife set, babe.
No, it's Mercer.
Mercer.
Mm-hmm.
A Mercer knife set. It's like it was like an 8-piece set. Came with the bag roll and all of that. And I got a magnetic strip. Mark G, thank you, brother. I really appreciate that. Thank y'all so much for that. That means a lot. Thank you for your support for that. Got a magnetic knife holder and put those knives on there. But I got to tell you, guys, if you need or are looking for a good knife set, inexpensive but sharp, that knife set is awesome. And I got the white handles with the black inserts, but the handles are kind of rubberized, so they're really easy to clean. I wanted some knives, like I would like to have some, dowel strung or more expensive type knives. But on the trailer, if we're busy, I don't want to have to worry about them dropping in a sink and, getting, nicks in them or breaking a tip or something like that. these knives are going to be durable. They're easy to clean, but they're sharp. They're really sharp. The only thing is they were a little bit lighter than I'm used to, but still, I really like them a lot. So, and I got them off of Amazon. But that I think it's an 8-piece, 7 or 8-piece knife set, and it came with the roll, and it came with the rod, sharpening rod, honing rod. I really like them. So if y'all are in need of something like that, y'all check that out. Give that a look on Amazon. But today I did a big orange sticker, Jus Piddlin BBQ sticker, big one. And where the sinks are, there's 3 big cabinets. And I put that in the center of the center cabinet. It looks really good. Got the orange Traeger mat down there, and it looks good with that Traeger mat. So really, not this coming up weekend, but the weekend after will be the first time we really use the trailer. It's going to be at a SCA state competition in Savannah. And
we'll probably go live there.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. We'll go live there and show you guys the area and show you what it's all about. It's going to be at the Shriners place down there in Savannah. And I think the points leader with SCA is going to be there. They're from Florida. And the 5th and 6th place folks are going to be there as well. They're from Georgia. So we're going to have some stiff competition, but I'm confident in the steak that we cook. And so I think it's going to be good. It's also a double, but I don't think we're going to do both. We're probably just going to do one, but the ancillaries are either a dessert or ribs. I hadn't decided if we're going to do those yet or not, or one of them, but might do ribs, I'm thinking, but we'll see. But should be a good time, and it's going to be way different than the first time we went down there because the first time we went down there, that was the very first SCA steak cook that we did. And we took the canopy, we took tables, grills, generator.
And it flooded.
And it absolutely flooded. Right as we were going to put the steak on, the bottom fell out. The wind was blowing. And while I'm searing this steak, I'm standing in water that's that deep. I mean, really, it was that deep. They had just cut the grass, I guess, and like grass clippings are floating on the water. It was miserable. And when we loaded everything back up, everything's soaking wet. It is going to be so nice not to have to load up all that stuff and unload all that stuff. And if it rains, I don't care. If it's cold, I don't care.
Good night, Mr. Mark. Have a good week.
Because it's going to be comfortable no matter what. And that's what I'm thankful for. It's going to be just a better experience all the way around. And I'm looking forward to it. So we'll see how it goes.
Harley, he doesn't need the disco ball. He's been talking about that ever since he placed the order for the trailer.
Mike Tabor, bless you, brother. Thank you so much for that. Brandon's Honey Jack. Yeah.
I still got some in the freezer, but I need to drink that and get some more.
Appreciate that, Mike. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jace.
And Harley, Sarah said the same thing, that we needed a disco ball back there.
Sister's already been back there trying to dance on the porch, so we don't need a disco ball.
Cotton's Tiki Bar, that's what we did the first time we went down there, as well as the other one that we did was we used the PVC to jack up the legs. And so, but now with those stainless steel tables in the trailer, I'm making them that height, so they're just that height all the time. So should be pretty nice, I think. Darnell, appreciate you being here. Cheers to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Mayhem. If we wore Christmas shirts or Christmas colors the next 2 weeks, we could wear jeans to school. So I have tried to do that every day so I can be comfortable.
A Christmas dance?
Can we see you guys do a Christmas?
What's a Christmas dance?
I have no idea.
We can do a little jig. That might be kind of cool.
We don't slow dance often.
No, a Christmas dance. We need to. I don't know. We need to do something. We need to get with it. Make some Cotton Eye Joe or something. Christmas.
I line dance. I'll line dance all night long.
Christmas Eye Joe. So yeah, we'll keep you updated on the state competition stuff next week. Next Wednesday night, we'll let you guys know definitely what we're going to do, and I think that's a good idea. We'll do a little live deal while
we'll be there all day
while we're down there. So yeah, it'll be a good time.
I'm sure they're not having judge until like 5.
And really, if you've never done one, it's really fun. There's really not much pressure, and it's a good time. I mean, I really enjoyed it.
Well, I mean, if you do anything with the Shriners, they have a good time no matter where they are.
Yeah. And the SCA does a really good job of organizing it and putting it on too, which I appreciate a lot. So
Kurt.
No, I don't have a PK. A lot of people, tons of people use the PK grills, but a lot of people now with the state comps have started using the M grills and the hasty bakes. But I'm using that Traeger Ranger out there with grill grates. And the last time that I did a state competition with those with the Ranger, I reverse seared, smoked it for about an hour, brought it up to about 110, and then seared it off. Great sear marks. The steak looked great. The flavor was great. And so when we did the one in Savannah, we didn't do very well, and it was because of the doneness. I think it was still on the rare side, and for SCA comps, they want a medium. So that was the biggest thing. But the next one that we did, the score that we scored, and we finished tied for 10th, I think. That score would have gotten like second in Savannah. And in Savannah, we scored 28th or something.
Yeah, something like that. 27, 28.
Yeah. And we were a 10th of a point from being 8th. And the winner, I think, scored a perfect score.
Mm-hmm.
So,
are you talking about in Vidalia?
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't with you there.
I think so.
So
we did really well there. The scores were ridiculous there. So I'm confident in, and I have changed it up a little bit with the rubs. So I'm really confident in what we're doing, the method that we're using. Old Curtis Nations, he helped us out a lot with the method that we're using. We're gonna, we'll trim it up, and then we'll marinate for about an hour, and then we'll season it up and smoke it for about an hour. Take it off, let the heat come up, and then we'll sear it off, and then kind of dust it up a little bit before we turn it in and see how it goes. But really, really confident with the recipe that we have. Is it 2 steaks that you submit for SCA? No, that's a good question. You get 2 steaks, but you only
do a double. Don't you turn into?
Yeah, but at that point you get 4 steaks. Right. So each state competition that you do, you get 2 steaks. If you do a double, then you'll get 4 steaks. But if you're doing one, you get 2 steaks, and you get to choose which steak that you want to turn in. So there's several different ways that you can do it. Some guys cook both of their steaks at this exact same time, and then they'll choose which one, looks better or maybe come out better. But the majority of the folks now, including myself, we'll do them one at a time. I think it's a little bit too chaotic to do both of them at the same time. And also, I can use that first one as a gauge as to whether I'm going to hit that doneness or not, if that makes sense. And also, if that second one, if it's just taking too long and I'm fixing to run out of time, I've still got one that I can turn in. And that's the thing I like about doing it that way. So, but usually the better steak, as far as the way it looks, I'll cook it second. And that's the one that I really want to turn in. But if something goes wrong, I've still got the other one that I can turn in. So, but the steaks normally are from a Housel Cattle Company, and they're really great steaks. I believe they're hand cut, and I mean they're really good. And they do it to where you've got a somewhat even chance of drawing your steak. You know, you'll pick a number. Say my number is 12, so whoever drew number one obviously goes first, and I'll be the 12th one through. But on the second steak pick, it reverses order. So the last guy gets to pick first, and then you come back through, and whoever drew number one gets to pick last for their second. So that gives everybody an opportunity to get at least one
Yeah, I think that's a good
really
way to do
good
it.
steak, and I like that
Hey,
a
Mr.
lot.
Mark,
So
Harley, they're wanting to know if you're going to be at the steak competition.
Kurt, that's close to what I do. The very first one that we did, I had pulled ours at 128, and I think it was just a little under what they were looking for. And the second one, to be honest with you, I pulled at about 136 ish. But there's a 4 or 5 degree temperature range where it's still going to be medium. And it also depends on how long you let it rest, because that color is going to start getting redder the longer it rests. And so that has a lot to do with it too. So some people let it rest, 10 minutes. I like to let it rest about 5 minutes and go ahead and turn it in. But as long as you keep the same process,
Good night, Joseph.
you should start getting, consistent results with it. So we'll see how it goes. All right, Harley, let me know. It'd be fun to mess around with you down there. I think you'd enjoy it. It's pretty fun time. Other than that, that's really about all we've had going on, ain't it, babe?
Yep. Going wedding dress shopping Saturday.
Brandy's going wedding dress shopping. She's wanting to get married. And
with my soon-to-be daughter-in-law.
yeah. So I'll maybe Harley can come down Saturday and we can
give off,
cook something. And Harley hadn't really seen the trailer firsthand yet, so let him see it. Maybe we can do a little live stream from the trailer cook or something. That'd be pretty fun. Had a guy this weekend ask me if I would cook a pork butt for him for the Georgia-Alabama game, and so I did that. And I had 2 grills on the trailer, so I went ahead and cooked the pork butts on the trailer. So that was the very first cook that I did from the trailer. I basically did that because I was putting that wire rack together and mounting it in there and all that, but that was kind of pretty fun. So we have tested out the air conditioner and the heater, and both of them will actually run you out of there.
Yes,
they're really nice. So I'm really impressed with. There you go. That's good.
That's my oldest son, and that's his fiance.
The bride to be.
The bride to be. They've been together for a while.
Yeah, and actually, Harley had a PK. You had the PK 360, Harley.
Yeah, he said he'd give it away.
But but I don't know, man. Like I say, everybody's different, and all of you guys need to use whatever you like. Uh, but for me, I'm just not that. I'm not that charcoal guy, and I got to tell you, when we were at the second state competition, some of them guys, they must have had a signal because about 5 of them guys fired up them charcoal grills about the same time. And that smell of that charcoal first starting up and the wind was blowing like our way, that just don't smell good to me. It doesn't smell good. It doesn't smell anything like wood at all. And it just doesn't do it for me. And if it does do it for you, then keep doing that. I mean, I'm not going to knock you for that. I just telling you that it's not my preference. So I get choked up remembering that smell.
Drink
It
yourself.
was, I mean, it was really rough. And Harley, that's a good point. I mean, and some folks do use the green eggs. The only thing about the green eggs or Kamados is they can be so fragile that I would be leery about, like some of them guys. I mean, here, I don't know what it is about here in South Georgia, but I'm telling you, we have more Florida people at these state competitions than we do Georgia people. And I don't know if I would want to travel back and forth all the way from Florida and back with a ceramic type grill.
Hey, Kip.
Yeah, they're briquettes. They're briquettes. Now, I take that back. Some people are using briquettes and some people are using lump. Um, and I know the last one that we did, I think one of the sponsors might have been Jealous Devil, lump charcoal. I'm not sure, but people are using both. And if I were to use charcoal, it would be lump charcoal. But still, I don't know. Not my cup of tea. John, what's your thoughts when you walk into the porta potty? I'll let you answer that, baby. I mean, it doesn't really bother. Go ahead and then I'll answer. I'll give my answer. What's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I don't have a problem going to a porta potty as long as it's clean. Now, if it's nasty, I'm gonna walk back out and wait for a clean one.
Mike, good to see you, brother. Hope y'all are doing well. Appreciate you being here. God bless you. Hope y'all are having some decent weather up there, brother. Gabriel Ranch Cook. Hey, better late than never. Appreciate you being here. For me, porta potties, and Harley probably attest to this. Whenever I think porta potties are bad, I go back and remember when I went to Camp Lejeune. To Harley went to SOI. I went to MCT up there at Camp Lejeune, and we were out in the field for almost 3 weeks. And I don't think they ever got emptied out in 3 weeks. And so when they were about an inch from the top of the seat, if you can picture that. And so when you walk in,
That's much bigger than an inch. Yeah.
To one of them, and they're almost touching the top, that's bad news. That's a bad one.
I'm not going with that one.
The worst one we've probably experienced was at Darlington. And that wasn't even close to.
I mean, they weren't bad. Just where we were camped at was bad. The porta potties wasn't bad. I mean, they cleaned them and
except for the time that I went in there and somebody
had left food.
So it was, the Bojangles Southern 500, right? And there's Bojangles everywhere in Darlington, South Carolina. Somebody was in the porta potty eating Bojangles chicken and left their big gulp drink in there while they're in that porta potty. Now that's hardcore there.
Yeah, I'm not. That's nasty.
Eating their chicken, drinking their drink while they're in the porta potty. Yeah.
But like when we go to Bristol and when we go to Talladega,
Super clean.
yeah,
They're as clean as any bathroom.
Bristol's always clean.
Yeah. And Talladega.
Yeah.
I mean, great. Great.
Now
And,
Bojangles is good. Those bow rounds are off the chain. Ooh, I could eat my weight in them things.
I could eat them right now. But the porta
we
potty
always get off track, Mark.
The porta potty at the SCA competition was nice.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Really nice.
Mhm.
So yeah, that went on a different barbecue deal, and we're talking about porta potties.
That's all right.
Bojangles, those bow rounds, the onion
Yeah.
in the bow rounds is what makes them. They're amazing.
Mm. That's multitasking I'm not going to do.
Yeah. I'm not doing that kind of multitasking. So yeah, we'll keep y'all update on the SCA competition that we're going to.
We'll let you know how the porta potties are when we get back.
And you guys donating to the table as soon as we get it. I'll be posting pictures of that on Instagram so you guys can see what you helped out with. I appreciate that. That's big.
Stephen, we're planning on going and actually taking my sister up there. That'll be her first NASCAR race
Bristol,
and first time going to that part of Tennessee.
Yeah. And the first time taking the trailer that far. Because we'll take it up there. I don't know if we can pull that thing up that hill or not.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I would take Bojangles over any breakfast joint that we have around here.
Oh, around here.
Yeah.
Now, if we could have a what's it called that we ate?
Bob Evans.
Oh man.
Now I take that back.
Yeah,
Bob Evans. When we went to Nashville, we ate at Bob Evans, and it was going to be a one-time deal. Well, we went back the second morning and got it again because, I mean, me and Brandy order a breakfast and it would fill up this whole table. How much is the table? I hate to say that now, Mike.
Well, it was already asked.
We got a 4-foot table. We bought a 4-foot table because we weren't sure how everything was going to lay out, you know.
Well, that's because we thought we were getting a 12-foot cabin.
Yeah. And we actually got a 14-foot cabin. So we've got more room than we planned on. So now we got a 4-foot table, but we can actually fit another 6 feet of table in there. So the 6 foot is 6 foot by 20 inches, I think, is like 280 or something.
I don't know. I hadn't looked at them.
I think it's 280 or something. I think that 4-foot was about, the 4-foot wasn't bad. The 4-foot was like 140 and it had a little backsplash on the back. And so I just used that backsplash. You know, it's got feet and everything too, but I wanted to anchor it in good. So I just used some self-tapping screws and used that backsplash as a mounting point also. And so now it's sturdy as it can be. I mean, we can sit on it or stand on it and it's not going anywhere. And they were very well made. It's I bought it on Amazon, but it's a restaurant company that makes those there, and they're made in the USA. So that's a good part of it too. Oh, bless it.
You'll have to ask Sandy where he got it. He got it for me.
That was on Amazon too. I think they were giving them away.
Whatever. They don't give this shit away. You got to pay for it. He got it 1 year for Christmas.
Mike Tabor's never had Bojangles.
Because there's probably not a Bojangles up there.
It's amazing.
But I love Notre Dame. I hate that Brian Kelly's going to LSU, but maybe he'll do good things over there for him. And the new coach that they're getting, I think he's going to do good for him. Notre Dame.
And I'll tell you, every time, and I know some of you watch his channel, every time I talk about Darlington or Bojangles, I think about Phil and Florence. And I know some of you watch his channel, and he lived, Florence, South Carolina is the exit you get off of to go to Darlington from where we live. And I'd always told him that, if we ever go to Darlington, I'd like to meet up with you, and do a little video or something. And I regret so bad that I didn't do that. We've only been up there once, but I regret that we didn't do that. And I loved his videos, and I miss him a lot. He was a really good dude.
I still don't know how to work this thing.
All you do is type, babe.
No, look at there.
Hieroglyphics.
Because you already had it on. I hate that keyboard. I know, I forgot what it was.
Also, real quick before we go, just to give you guys a couple of things that's why I didn't want to say nothing. I knew he was going to do that. Mike, if I was close to you, I'd kick you in your tail and give you a hug at the same time. You didn't have to do that, and I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Blessings to you. You deserve it, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Just to give you guys a couple things to, look for or think about, or, if you're looking for some seasonings or whatever, and this is not a sponsorship at all. So let me tell you that right up front. Not a sponsorship at all. Just wanted to share. Okay. First of all, check out that shrimp and grits video because it's good. It really is good. I got some rubs and stuff, in part to my brother Harley, and I just wanted to share a couple of them with you. Hand me those 2 bags right there, babe.
You told me to pick earlier.
Well, I know, but I just want to show these real quick. Meat church stuff, bird bath brine. I hadn't tried it yet, but I want to try that. But just wanted to show you that they've got that stuff offered, as well as the holy cow brisket injection. The next brisket that I do, I'm going to use this and try this and see how it is. We also got a chili seasoning pack, and we did use it, and that was pretty dang good, wasn't it? You liked it?
Yeah.
It was really good. Hand me the honey hog, babe. Now this honey hog, I could drink it right out of this shaker. It's that good. Pork, amazing. Anything pork. This stuff right here is off the chain, and they've got a honey hog hot. If you like a little bit of spice with it, which is right there,
Ta-da.
is fantastic. but that's probably my all-time favorite. And then pull out whatever you want, babe.
I was
Just-
supposed to be
just-
doing that
just
from
pick
the,
something.
from the start. No, that's one you just showed. There's one.
There's one.
These nuts.
These nuts. It's
Perfect.
a pecan rub or a pecan, if you would like to say it up north, if you don't have grits or Bojangles. But down here we've got grits and Bojangles, and we call it pecan. But it's a pecan rub, and it smells really different than any other rub that you're gonna ever get. But it adds a really good flavor. Pork and chicken, I would probably say more than beef with this. What you got here? This is good. Holy Voodoo. Y'all have seen me use this some on chicken wings or chicken, I think. It's got dehydrated jalapeno or jalapeno, but if it's got a little swirly thing over the end, it's jalapeno. But this is really good stuff too. That's a really good rub. But just want to show y'all a couple things. Again, they're not a sponsor at all, but I use these
Do you want another one?
a lot. Hand me the holy cow right there, babe. Yeah.
Holy cow.
Holy cow. Now I use that for some of the state competitions. Brisket. Definitely this stuff. Let me shake it up. But lots of black pepper in that. And it's coarse black pepper. So you really get that black pepper on a brisket, for example. So that's really good on a brisket. And they've got a fajita seasoning too, and that kind of stuff. So just want to share some of those things. If y'all looking for some decent, rubs, different or whatever, something really different, I would probably try
Oh, here's the fajita. That's Harley's favorite.
fajita. I would try that. But really good rubs.
Somebody asked, Mayhem asked if you were going to do your own rubs.
Mayhem, I appreciate that question. Probably before we do rubs, we are, and I've said it for 2 years now.
We'll get there.
Get our sauce bottled. And we were almost ready to pull the trigger on that until we ended up pulling the trigger on the trailer first. And so that kind of took precedent over the sauce. But probably the next step is going to be getting the sauce bottled. And then after we do that, I want to do, because it's a mustard vinegar sauce, then I want to do a sweet one and then a hot one. And then I would like to do my own version of an Alabama white sauce. That sauce just kind of intrigues me a little bit. So I'd like to have one of those. And then that would probably be it as far as sauces go. And then maybe get into the rubs a little bit. The thing about rubs really is, I used to do my own rubs a little bit, but then with the array of rubs just from one brand, but as many brands as there are out there, it's hard to find, you can 5 different brands of rubs and you can buy one of each and say an all-purpose rub. And basically they all pretty much taste the same. So I don't know how much you can do with rubs and be different from other folks. I really don't. So I don't know about the rubs yet. Not confident enough yet. On my recipe, yeah. Mike, we've kind of started doing the same thing as far as recipes go. Man, I'll tell you, um, with the cookbook or like with this trailer. We've talked about this trailer, I don't know how long. I can't tell you how many years people have said, you need a trailer, you need a food truck, you need a restaurant, you need this or that. But until you get ready, you're not going to do it, you know. And that's something that you've got to decide on. But I will say this, Mike, everything that I have done in my life, really, it seems like I've always been 5 years later than I should have been, and why that is, I don't know. Um, I think partly it's because I always want to make double and triple sure that I'm going to be successful before I do it, and some people just go for it, and sometimes they fail, sometimes they are successful. My problem is I don't ever want to fail, so I want to really make sure that it's going to work and we can afford it and we can do this and that. So you've got to make that choice on your own. Um, but I would say because of the success that you've had and, you're successful in what you do, man, you do a great job with everything that I've seen you do. I think that would be successful as well. And, if you ever do that, let me know and I'll support you as much as I can. I'll promote it as much as I can. So I think it would be successful. I really do. Um, but like Brandy tells me, you know, you don't never know until you do it. Um, if you don't do it, it's always going to be, I wish I had a done it. Well, next year may not be here for any of us, so, and we're not getting any younger. You know what I mean? So if you need a little inspiration, there's your inspiration from Jus Piddlin.
Mike, the next time we make sauce, I'll send you a jar. Not Mike, Steven. Sorry. There's so many mics on here tonight. Everybody's talking about Mike. Then I
We
got
we
Mike
do have
Tabor.
we do have mic. We've got mics. We've got about every mic. Jason, have you ever tried White Tiger or Butt Hut up in Athens? Jason, we haven't. And really, I've only been in Athens maybe twice. Maybe twice. I try to stay out of Athens as much as possible.
Mayhem, he gets big hugs all the time. And there's another one. I need to remember that one.
What? Not to make another Chicago reference, but Michael Jordan said the only shots you're guaranteed to miss are the ones you don't take. That's
Amen.
true. That's true. So, Mike, it sounds like you're giving yourself your own advice, but it's always easier to give it to somebody else and hope they take it. It's not always easy to, you know, give yourself advice, but still have the courage to do it. But at some point, you got to pull the trigger. Mike, I'll tell you this real quick. My mom wrote a book. It was a children's book, and it never got published. I've got it here somewhere. I bet she sent it to 7 different publishers, and it never got published. She actually, I want to say she tried to get our sauce bottled at one point, and Paul Newman, he has his own line of marinara sauces and salad dressings. She actually was in contact with him to try to see if, his bottling company would get involved with it, and was turned down. So she was, but it wasn't because she wasn't trying. you know, and I have to give her that. So, um, you know,
But she did have a restaurant.
oh, she did have a restaurant. She did have a restaurant, and she, you know, we've got probably 20 or 30. Um, bless it, Chris Dollar. I'll call him back. Um, we've probably got 20 or 30 magazines from Buckmaster Magazine, and
She wrote
um,
articles in.
she had her own recipe column for wild game in Buckmaster Magazine for, you know, a couple of years, and that's a pretty big accomplishment for, you know, somebody from small town Georgia. So, um, you know, you just got to keep throwing your line out there, and sooner or later you're going to get a bite. You know what I mean? If you don't throw your line out there, you're not going to get anything.
Stephen, I could probably make you a crack cake and send, and it probably wouldn't be demolished by the time it got to you.
Maybe.
But I mean, even if it is, you could just
it'll still
scoop
eat
it up by the
Yeah.
handfuls and just eat that cake.
Yeah, it'll still eat.
It has no icing. Just to let you know, no icing.
It is true.
Disappoint Sandy, but
Jeremy, appreciate you being here.
hey,
Hello,
Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Um,
Is there a website for that?
oh, maybe he's talking to somebody else. I'm not sure.
No, he said, is there a website for that, Sandy?
Oh,
I forgot what I was talking about, ma'am. Give me a, what website do you need? I've got a short-term memory. What's a 5? Yeah.
that's not a bad drive.
It's not. Gary said that's my ringtone.
What?
I guess the one that was ringing a while ago.
Oh,
That was my buddy Chris Dollar. We graduated high school together, and he owns an actual country meat store in Hawkinsville, Georgia, called Harris Country Meats. Y'all can check him out on Facebook and all that stuff. I'll plug him. He's a great dude, and they do a great job down there with their meats and all. When a couple weeks ago, when we did the class reunion, he was actually doing a catering job and cooked a whole hog for some folks. Turned out really good.
very true, Stephen.
What else, babe? That about it?
Yeah, we've gone an hour and 13 minutes.
And we thought we wasn't going to have anything to talk about.
Yep.
Imagine if we start cooking stuff again.
Which you have about a week and a half to do that.
Yeah, it seems like it's been forever since we've made a video where your mother's recipes are at. I tell you what, Mayhem, I don't know if I'm pretty sure they're not going to be on Buckmaster Magazine anymore, because that was probably late 80s, early 90s, maybe. But I tell you what, Morgan.
Thank you, Morgan.
There's the bride to be. What if we make a section on our website
For Mama's recipes?
and put her recipes?
We can do that.
So, Mayhem, give us, how long you think it'll take, babe?
I mean, I can work on it Saturday afternoon and Sunday.
Well, we don't have to put them all in there at one time, but give us about a week, Mayhem. Give us till next Wednesday night at the live stream, and hopefully we'll already have that column. I'll build that column on the website, and we'll give Mama a section and put her recipes in there. Most of them are wild game recipes, but that's what her column was about.
Good night, Mike. Thanks for everything.
But we'll update you on that next Wednesday night, and hopefully we'll already have that started with at least 2 recipes already posted in there. Depends on however many, Brandy can get done in there typed up. But that would be a cool deal to put Mama's recipes in there.
Yeah.
I can't believe we hadn't already thought about that.
Mike, are you talking like 3 million on here or like 3 million in person?
What are you talking about, babe?
Me and Mike's got this. He asked me a question.
3 million people, would you be nervous? On a stream.
That's what I was saying, Jeremy. If we wouldn't have done one last week, it would have been 4 weeks without doing a show.
Mike, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate your support, man.
Mike, it wouldn't bother me. I mean, I do look up there to see how many people's on there, but
we need to start naming them Mike 1, Mike 2, Mike 3.
It don't really matter. Because not everybody that's on doesn't comment, so they're just on there listening.
And we appreciate.
And I can't see y'all.
And we appreciate them too.
If I could see y'all, that'd probably freak me out a little bit.
If we could see them,
3 million people. Would you want to be looking at 3 million little?
Well, we couldn't look at all them.
I mean, like right now, there's 18 people on, but there's not 18 people comment.
Next Wednesday, 3 weeks in a row. I know it, Jeremy. We're trying to get back in it, my man.
Mike Tabor said he's just going to be Big Mike.
Big Mike.
All right, Stephen. I'll let you know when we get the barbecue sauce done.
Keep us updated, Stephen.
We'll get together on all that.
Robert Plant. I've been listening to Led Zeppelin almost every day this week for some reason.
Jeremy's talking about your beard.
Yeah.
Good night, Stephen.
Yeah, I didn't shave for a couple of days, and Brandy said, well, why don't you just let it go until Christmas break? So I just let it go, and I forget about it because I've never had facial hair this long on my face, and I forget about it until I walk by a mirror, and I'm like, holy crap.
Good night, Mark. Have a good rest of the week.
Yeah, guys, I appreciate you being here. Thank you for your support. Means more than you guys know. So thank you, guys and gals. We're going to get off here. Tomorrow's Thursday, and then the next day's Friday. And then we get our weekend on. So hope you guys have a great weekend. Cook something good. Share it with us. And we're going to try to cook something good and do a video this weekend.
No, he's going to do a video this weekend.
Bam. You heard it.
It might not be Saturday. It'll be Sunday when I'm home. But
we're going to get that going. And then we'll see you guys again next Wednesday night. Can't thank you enough again. Appreciate you. And till next time, we'll be piddling. See you guys. Thank you.